Next, Kari, Grant, and Tory mix science with the art of surfing and get an explosive result.
Shaka! It's right here. Hang loose. Right here.
How much aloha do you have in that shaka?
So much it's sick.
What are you guys talking about?
We have a myth about surfing. There's this viral video making its way around the internet where some renegade surfers are landlocked in a city, but they want to surf.
Yeah, and then they find this canal. They throw in a bunch of dynamite, it explodes and creates a wave that one of the surfers rides.
Are you kidding me? There's no way that could work. And even if it did, you'd probably be dead, right?
Well, that's what we get to find out. High five. Yeah.
In this viral video, a team of surfing gorillas are desperate to catch a wave. Their solution? Well, they hold their very own TNT party. And surf's up, dude. But were these guys really crazy enough to surf with dynamite, or is this just a cutting-edge commercial?
Okay, so how are we gonna test this?
Well, I think first we need some sort of proof of concept, because I don't even know if explosives can set off a wave. I mean, in the movies, sometimes you see a big splash, but not necessarily a wave.
Well, that raises another issue, which is the depth. Does it need to be close to the surface or down further to create a wave?
All right, well, why don't we test that by building a big water tank. We'll set off some explosions in it and see if we even create a wave. If we do, then we'll set the explosions at different depths and see if that has an effect on the size of the wave.
Excellent.
So Tory begins tackling this explosive fable by building a water tank in the backyard.
All right, let's fill it up with water.
High explosives can't be used in the parking lot, so Tory turns to an old MythBuster favorite.
Cue dramatic music.
The dry ice soda bottle bomb.
Wow.
And here's Tory with the Big Bang Theory.
All right, this is how you make a dry ice bursty bottle. You take a 2-liter bottle of soda, empty it out, fill it up 3/4 of the way with water, dump in a bunch of dry ice, put the cap back on, and as the dry ice is gassing off, the CO2 gases are building up pressure inside the bottle, and eventually the bottle will rupture, giving you the dry ice bursty bottle.
They'll be positioning their makeshift depth charge at various depths to see if they can make waves.
Okay, so we know that this experiment isn't to scale, but what we're after is what happens to the energy of an explosion when it's in water. Does it disturb the surface enough to be considered a wave, or does it all just simply go straight up into the air?
To find out, the team start with the least likely candidate for a surfable wave, a bottle bomb at the bottom of the tank.
Look at the waves. We're getting some swells.
The first test was with the bottle almost to the bottom of the pool. That's the worst case scenario in terms of creating some movement at the surface, because the explosion's got to push all the water above it.
Next, it's a mid-depth detonation.
Dude, that was a much bigger wave.
It was a bigger wave, definitely.
And finally, a bottle bomb at the surface.
It definitely made much smaller, ripply waves.
So the guys have their proof of concept. An explosion will make waves, and depth is a factor in the size and quality of those waves. And you could say Tory's excited.
Have you lost your damn mind?
So in theory, this might be able to work.
Yeah, but just to clarify, that was not a small scale, just a proof of concept.
Yeah, but we did show that an explosion will cause a wave.
Yeah, but doesn't a wave have to break before you can ride it?
I'm not really sure, so I think we should go and talk to a surfing expert, and we could learn how to surf.
Yeah, because if we make a surfable wave, I want to ride it.
Cowabunga! Let's rip it! Up! Cowabunga!
Life's a beach when you're a MythBuster. I mean, what other job requires you to go surfing for work? And after meeting Heath, their instructor, we learned that surfing lingo is all geek to Grant.
I am ready to rip it and shred some stuff. Did I say that right?
Joking aside, before surfing with dynamite, the team needs to know they can plain old surf.
Oh, it's cold!
Or, even get into the water.
We're at Cowell's Beach in Santa Cruz, and this is perfect for us. Because as you can see, the waves are tiny, and that's probably what we're gonna get from an explosion in the water, are little waves. And not only that, it's perfect for learning how to surf.
What was going through my mind was, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this on my first try. What was coming out of my mouth was like, blah, blah, blah.
This crazy commercial has got Kari, Grant, and Tory thinking. Is it real? Could you really create a surfable wave with dynamite? And if so, would any of the team be able to ride it? A trip to Santa Cruz later, and it's looking good on the surfing front. But what about the safety aspect? If you remember, an underwater pressure wave is fatal to fish.
I killed it!
But what about MythBusters on a surfboard? To find out, Kari has brought in underwater explosive expert Van Romero.
What are the dangers of being in the water when there's an explosion?
Well, when you detonate something underwater, it's much more dangerous than in the air. You're the same density as water. So the energy in the shockwave will easily be transferred from the water into your body. As the shockwave continues to go through your body, it reaches the surface of your lungs. In the inside of your lungs, the density is very low. And when that happens, waves start bouncing all over the place, and if your lung is subject to that, it'll start to bleed. So you won't die immediately, but you'll bleed to death in about 24 hours.
Yep, the insurance doesn't cover that, which means they'll need a surfer substitute.
Okay, giant explosion, lethal shockwave. I think this is a job for Buster.
Buster can't even stand up on his own. How's he gonna surf?
You know, I don't even think he needs to stand. I tried the cobra position coming in on a few waves, and that worked great.
Yeah, but he still needs to paddle.
I got it! Robot! Yes! I knew it! Yes, mechanical paddling robot, remote control.
So you're gonna make a row-bot? Get it, row?
A problem to solve
Ready to hang 10?
and a robot to build. It's a little slice of grand heaven.
Now, one of the most essential things about being able to catch a wave is to get up speed by paddling. And this, if you don't have enough speed, the wave's just gonna cross by you. So, I'm gonna make some steel arms, which are going to be Buster's arms, and those will be hooked to a motor. And as the wave is coming up, I'll start the motor spinning. That will start the arms of paddling and get Buster's speed up so that hopefully when the wave hits, they'll be at exactly the right speed and take off.
And while Grant finishes the motor to power the paddles, he's drafting Kari for some help.
What we're gonna do is trace out an arm profile and then cut it out of steel.
So you wanted to use my arms because they're big and muscular? Is that what you bring me over for?
No, you're gonna trace my arms because they're paddly.
But mine have more length, so it could, you know, a lot faster. Yeah.
Sorry, the piece of steel I bought will fit my arm.
Okay, so do you want me to put a muscle on it? I'll get a pen.
With Kari on arm duty, the guys soon whip the bot into shape, including a remote control rudder, AB foam legs, and torso, modeled, of course, on Grant.
Ta-da!
And a quick paint job.
Okay, so the remote-controlled surfing robot is finally done. It consists of a 10-foot foam board with a paddling mechanism. It has a swivel, just like your real body would move as you paddle out. All the electronics are encased in a waterproof enclosure, has a 12-volt battery. For minor adjustments, there's also a rudder on the back. And the wave's over here. Perfect. Now start paddling, dude. Paddle. Okay. It's good to go. I'm ready to hit the waves.
So we have our surfer, Frank's bringing the explosives, and our researchers found us a lake.
Yeah, it's an Angels camp, and it's a quarry lake, so there's nothing to be killed by the explosion.
So no fish in a barrel type lethal shockwave of death.
Yeah, well, let's get up there and start making waves.
So this beautiful quarry lake is the location for the final experiment.
How's he gonna hang 10? He got no feet.
And the first order of business is a test run with the surfing robot.
I am feeling a little nervous at this point because none of us are going to be allowed to surf, this is our only option for testing the myth.
You look nervous.
I guess I'm a little nervous. Now, that having been said, I'm hoping that Grant has been imbued with the natural surfing talent that real Grant has.
Well, it didn't flip over.
Yep, it looks like Grant has imbued Grant with all of his surfing powers.
All right, let me
awesome.
turn him.
Nice.
Thank you. Thanks.
And it didn't flip
Thanks.
It's a beautiful robot.
So Grant did us proud. There's no doubt about that. He's got the mad surfing skill. However, I would like to see him go a little bit faster.
And to achieve that, Grant switches the paddle action from freestyle to butterfly.
Oh yeah, he is faster though.
Surf's up, dude.
So Grant's good to go.
Yeah, spank that water.
But Kari's concerned about our evil genius's motives.
Does anybody find it creepy how many Grant robots have been on the show? Is it just me, or is he trying to like clone himself and make a little army?
I like it. I think we're keeping it.
After seeing this internet video, Kari, Grant, and Tory couldn't resist the myth that it's possible to catch a wave created by dynamite. And with Grant all set to surf, Kari and Tory head out onto the lake to work out where to place the explosives.
First up, Tori and I are going on a recon mission to figure out what the bottom of the lake bed looks like. We have a depth finder, and the sheriff's department has lent us a boat. 49, 48. We know from talking with our expert, to get a breaking wave, we need a discontinuity in the bottom of the body of water. Now, this is a man-made quarry lake, which means it has those discontinuities. And if we put our explosives in just the right spot,
Right here. This is where I want it.
we might be able to create a perfect breaking wave for our robot surfer to ride.
As it turns out, the topography of the lake bed is perfect. A gradual slope from the southern end to the shallower north will act just like a beach. The gradient will drag on the leading edge of the wave, causing the faster-moving back edge to break over the top.
Okay, so we can put the surfer right there, and then we can measure back for where we want the explosive.
That's the location. But what about the strength and depth of the charge?
All right, so our shop test showed that the depth, it definitely is a factor, the size of the wave. Now that we're out here, why don't we try setting our explosions at different depths just to see what kind of waves we get?
Well, just to start, we've got 50 pounds. You want to put it about 30 feet, see what happens?
Sounds good.
Now, since we don't really know exactly what depth we want to do this at, we're still trying to figure it out. I was wondering maybe we should save Grant until we know, we got a good depth and we know we're going to get a good wave.
Great.
You don't want to wreck them yet?
Not yet.
Remember, in the viral video, it looks like they used 3 or 4 sticks of dynamite. Maybe 3 pounds? But retired FBI agent Frank Doyle thinks that just won't cut it. He suggests starting with 50 pounds of the high-explosive trinitrotoluene, or TNT. With an explosive velocity in the region of 7,000 meters per second, no wonder Grant's nervous about blowing Grant right out of the water.
Okay, Frank, this is Grant. We are in position and ready for you to start the countdown. Over.
We're ready to go. It's going to be 3 fires in the hole and a count. Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! 3, 2, 1.
Dude, you can feel it!
Okay, wait, that was 50 pounds. Let's see what kind of wave rolls in.
Wow, that's pretty huge.
That was amazing. That was 50 pounds of TNT, 30 feet deep. But the wave that ended up making it to the shore, maybe about an inch high.
Despite the impressive amount of TNT, it barely raised a ripple.
Yeah, I think it's too deep.
Yeah, that energy just totally wasted too deep.
Okay, let's split the difference. Let's bring it up to like 12 feet.
Sounds good to me.
Great. So what we saw here was the same kind of behavior we saw in our shop test, which was if you have the charge too deep, under too much water, you just get a big kind of thud and no wave.
Make the drop.
So what we're gonna do now is move the charge a little bit closer to the surface
Explosives in the water, going down.
and see if we can get more of that energy out and hopefully creating a wave.
All right, Frank, 12-foot depth with 50 pounds of TNT. Let her rip.
3, 2, 1, fire!
That's about what, 6 inches, maybe a foot?
Yeah, the peak of the leading wave looks to be a foot high, a huge improvement on the 30-foot test, which means the team are happy with the depth of the charge, 12 feet.
It's breaking.
It's breaking! Yeah!
Little waves.
Next, they want to supersize those waves. For that, they're going for broke and using their entire supply.
You want to get on the corner
Surf this.
We're talking about a body bag filled with TNT. That's 200 pounds. This should be a really big explosion.
Let us know if you're going to fade back there, Hans.
Okay, let's put things into perspective. This little explosion was a mere ½ pound of TNT.
Look at the door. Wow.
So if 200 pounds of TNT doesn't whip up a wave, this myth is truly busted. Waiting in the wings for his big debut is Robo Grant. But before the big blast, the real Grant takes time out for a quick pep talk.
Okay, buddy. Needless to say, this entire experiment rests on you. This is your time to shine. You've got a long history of robotic friends to live up to. RoboCat, the Mad Batter, the sword-swinging robot. This is your chance, man, all right? Go out there, make us proud.
All right, slap away.
Good luck, buddy!
Robo Grant paddles out to a predetermined distance from ground zero, while Frank coordinates the drop before everyone retreats to a safe distance.
This is the big one, you guys.
We're
Yep.
commencing the firing sequence. Fire in the hole! Yeah!
Here we go. Got it. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Straighten him out. Here we go.
He's going.
Yeah, dude.
He's going,
You're-
he's going.
you're perfect
I
alignment.
have speed, I have speed. No.
Here we go.
2, 1.
This is the big one, you guys.
Kari, Grant, and Tory are just about to put the myth of surfing with dynamite to the ultimate test.
Commencing the firing sequence.
A few feet below the surface of this quarry lake is 200 pounds of TNT.
Fire in the hole!
And closer than any human could get is Robo Grant, the surfing robot hanging out for the perfect wave.
I have speed, I have speed. No.
Here we
Sorry.
go.
2, 1, fire.
It was a huge explosion, but is the wave actually surfable? Robo Grant is paddling furiously, and Grant keeps his stunt double on course. But the wave just rolls right under the surfboard, despite the outrageously over-the-top quantity of TNT and an explosion to match. The wave still wasn't surfable. As it radiates from the epicenter in an ever-increasing circle, it runs out of energy, leaving Robo Grant thinking about his next trip to Maui, unlike the team, who, when they get a bang like this, are always satisfied.
Nice job!
Nice job.
Nice job. That was not anything like the video at all. That was definitely CG, and I see one major flaw with a wave being surfed from an explosion. It's you get a radial wave, and it just dissipates too small. It's not like the ocean where it just carries on.
Yeah, you know, he was paddling and paddling, and he had enough speed, and he looked like he was starting to catch it, but then the wave went away.
Just kind of went. But I mean, you can't get a bigger explosion than that for what we're doing. That was amazing.
No, it
That
was
was
perfect.
great.
But on top of all that, if you were in the water and a bomb that big went off that close to you, you would be dead.
Yeah.
So
Good
this
point.
one's totally busted.
Busted.